Wayne, good afternoon and welcome. And welcome to this beautiful area of La Pirogue. Over the last 3 decades, you've been working at the intersection of business, society and the environment. How do you see the role of business evolving in today's world? Amidst all the global challenges,
Well, in some ways, the role of business couldn't be more important. In other ways, what we've seen is a shift from a focus on problems 30 years ago to now a focus on solutions,
Right.
and those solutions starting to scale. So in some ways, business is really at the heart of sustainability today, needing to now just scale up those solutions.
evolution that you speak of brings me to one of the interesting concepts that you have been championing, which is regeneration. You position regeneration as a step beyond sustainability. What does it mean and why does it matter now?
Well, sustainability, of course, is literally to sustain, is to continue, to survive. And what we really want to do is thrive. And that's what regeneration is all about. Most of what we've done in the last 30, 40 years on sustainability has really been doing a little less harm. And now we're in a danger zone where systems are starting to break down. So we need to actually go beyond that, to be more ambitious, and to also create some damage control and then some restoration of the damage that we've done. So it's actually getting us into the positive space of actually doing good, not doing only a less bad.
The concept that you speak about when you talk about regeneration, really visionary for me. For businesses like ours, we always want to see the practical side. So I guess my question to you is, when we look at companies like ours, where we operate in different sectors, healthcare, hospitality, finance, property, what would regeneration look like in practice?
Yeah, indeed, for each one it will be different. But if we take healthcare, for example, we see a real shift in moving towards prevention of disease rather than just cure after the fact. We also see some amazing technologies, whether those are DNA-based technologies or others coming in. So staying at the forefront of technology helps us to be regenerative. Take other sectors, textiles, it's got to be bio-based. We've got to do away with the chemicals. Again, we can work with, with microbes, we can work with cellular agriculture, many solutions out there in order to make it more inherently sustainable and regenerative. In property, it's got to be 100% renewable. Not only that, but we can have buildings that create more energy than they use, that clean the water that they take in. So there's so much potential across all the sectors.
Right. Let's bring it a bit closer home now. So, like many other small island nation, Mauritius, we have some real constraints, but I think we also have great potential. So, from your perspective, what do you see are the opportunities for us to lead the way in regenerative development?
So I think you have the opportunity to really live the principles of sustainability. How can you, for example, make sure that you have a complete circular economy? That all waste becomes food for another input, another process, whether that's being natural waste or technical materials. So that's one area I think you could really lead. I think the other thing is that you've got a legacy as an island where you have the dodo, which is a symbol of unsustainability, of extinction, which is, we have 1 million species at risk of extinction right now. And you also have the positive story of starting to bring back species, like you've got with the Mauritius kestrel. And so I think you could have a very positive story about becoming nature positive, literally restoring nature. And you've got the Fernie Valley, for example, is doing amazing work. So, I think you can become a symbol for the rest of the world on what is possible on nature restoration.
Wayne, I think you might agree with me that we are today living in a context of unprecedented change and nearly a chaotic world as well. The climate disruption, geopolitical tension, economic shifts. How do you, as Wayne, stay hopeful?
Well, there's this wonderful quote by Rebecca Solnit who says that, hope is not like a lottery ticket. It is an axe you break down doors with in an emergency. And that's what we're facing, a series of emergencies. So the hope actually is an attitude, and it comes from the fact that we understand that change, including positive change, can happen very quickly. It's not only breakdown that happens quickly. And so when we focus on the solutions and the innovations and we tune into that, as opposed to doom scrolling all the time on our social feeds or our media headlines, then we realize that there's a lot to be hopeful for. We have amazing technologies that are coming through right now. And then when you're spending time with the people who are passionate about this agenda and who are working on those solutions, it's impossible not to be hopeful.
If you had one message for the young professionals out there, sustainability professionals or young leaders, what would be that one message for them?
Don't listen to the old people who are stuck in the doom and gloom, right? Don't give in to the fear-mongering. Of course we face challenges, but we also have amazing solutions, we have new technologies, and we have all of the energy of your generation. I sometimes believe that every generation has its own big challenge. And, you know, it's no different for the next generation. We should all be possibilists, believing that change is always possible, because it is. And so I would say, keep that positive mindset, because the future is yours to create.
Wayne, I want to thank you for this rich conversation, some great insights, and it was a real pleasure to have you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.